Welcome to Quick Tips with eLearning. Today we're going to look at how to share OneDrive documents. Now, at Green River College, we do not allow public sharing of documents, but you can share documents between students, faculty, and students starting fall of 2021. So once you get into your OneDrive and you have a file that you want to share with someone or a class, peers, an instructor, what you can do is there's several ways to share. It's the same sharing capabilities, but a couple of different ways. So first you can just go straight to your files in OneDrive and hover over the file you want and then find this little arrow popping out, and that is how you can share. So there's a couple of types of sharing you can do. So like I mentioned, you cannot share publicly, so anyone with a link is not available. However, you can say people at Green River College with the link, people with existing access, and specific people. You can also allow it to be editable by the people you're sharing it with, or if you do not select this, it is read only. There is another option to also block them from downloading the file if you'd like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just say I want to say specific people will get access to this. So I'm going to, and I would like them to be able to edit. If you do allow people to edit, you can have them only be able to do review. So this would be like track changes, so you could see exactly who is editing what parts, and then you can accept or not those edits that they've made. So I'm going to select specific people allow editing, and I'm just going to allow them to edit whatever they'd like. So I'm going to hit it apply. And then here I'm going to type in the names. So for students, you'll need to have your faculty's email at the ready. So if Ari Rooney was my instructor, I would type in her email address and then it would be sent to her. For faculty, if you're sharing it with someone, faculty will show up directly in here. So if I'm sending it to James, you can see he pops right up, as well as other faculty and staff members. As a faculty member, I could also send it directly to students. So if I start typing the student's name, I can actually search through the directory and find the student that I would like to add. Another thing you can do is you can copy and paste all of the student emails directly here to share as well. So then when I'm ready, I can send a message, and then when I'm ready, I can hit send. And that will send them an email message saying, hey, Whitney has shared this with you. Here is a link to access it. So I'm going to hit send. The other thing I can do now that these people have access to this is I can go back to this document and hit this share icon again. And I can say I want people with existing access, so those people I just allowed access to, and I'm going to apply. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy this link. So now what I can do is I can copy this link, I can send it in Teams, I can send it in an email, I can share it in the chat in a Zoom session, in a Microsoft Teams session, any way I want to share this with my students, with my teacher, with anyone at Green River who I've given access to. I can now just copy and paste this link wherever I need to. So another way to share is if I just click directly on the file I am sharing up at the top right, and this works with Word documents, PowerPoints, Excel files, any type of file that's in your OneDrive. There is a share icon, and if I click on that, I'm going to get the exact same options as I did before, and I can click a bunch of different things. So if it's something that is not sensitive. It doesn't have sensitive data in it. So say it's a class and I don't necessarily want to put all the students in every single file. What I can do is just put people in at Green River College with the link and say I'm doing a class activity where everyone is allowed to edit. Maybe each page of the document has a different group of group work on it. I would do people at Green River with a link, allow editing, and apply. And then instead of putting names in here, I'm actually just going to say I want to copy the link. And you can see here people at Green River with the link can edit. So then all I have to do is copy this link, put it in my Zoom chat, put it in my Canvas course, put it in an email, and that will make anyone who is the recipient of that be able to click on the link and edit it as long as they have a Green River email account. And another way to be able to share is going back to just your OneDrive main folder, is hovering over the document, clicking on the three dots here, and you have a bunch of options, and one of them is either copying the link. So if I had already made this available to anyone at Green River with the link, I could copy the link, done. Or I could go through the whole process of sharing by clicking on the three dots and clicking share. And again, I have the same options as I did before. One word of caution in sharing any documents in your OneDrive, as well as folders. So you can also actually share folders the same way that you would any files. Is to make sure that there is no personally identifiable information that is under FERPA in any of the documents that you're sharing between colleagues, between peers, between students. So just be sure you know what you're sharing and you're not sharing any information that you should not be.